Hello, Algebra 1 students. I'm looking at this assignment from Mr. Fry. It's worksheet 6.1b, evaluating functions. And simply all you're doing is you're plugging in the number that is given for you into the variable. Here we have x squared minus 5x plus 2. So the variable x is going to be substituted in for a -1. So you're going to put -1 in there. So it's going to be -1 squared minus 5 times -1 plus 2. And let me show you a little trick if you're using, calculators like this one. If it's possible on your calculator, if it's a little bit different, it makes life a lot easier and makes things a lot quicker. So let me go ahead and put this in here. What I like to do is I like to put in parentheses my variable. So I have -1 and I have back parentheses and I'm going to square it. And then I'm going to have minus 5 times that -1 in parentheses. Once again, I put in parentheses so I could find it quickly later when I change that. So, and then plus 2. Okay, so I hit equals and, oh, I see that I wrote the wrong thing down for this one. This should be 8 here. Okay, and what we're going to do, good thing I'm checking on this one because that makes my b going to be a little bit differently. So I have my -1 squared minus 5 times -1. And I'm going to then go ahead and change and then I have the plus 2, and then that gave me 8. So I'm going to change this -1 to a -2. So I put that in parentheses. So I just go in my parentheses, and I'm going to change my variable to -2. -2. I hit equals, and I get 16. So good thing I changed that. So this one should be 16. Okay. All right, let me see if I go back. Yep, I had the plus 2. I just want to make sure I have the plus 2. So you could just use the back button, in other words, to go and change what's in the parentheses to change your variables each time. In order for me to do C, obviously, C is going to be 2. You could just see, that's squared, that's where, that's going to be 2. That times 0. Anything times 0 is 0, so we're just going to end up with 2. So let me check out 5. In order to get rid of that negative, I just delete that negative, and I'm going to change my 2 to a 5 now. And I move it over here. I get rid of that, and I change it to a 5. I have the plus 2 there. I'm all good to go. I hit equals, and I get 2 for my answer. Okay, same thing that we're doing, we're plugging in. Go ahead and try 2 on your own. You're just going to put in the -3 here. So it's going to be 2 times -3 squared plus 2. And if your calculator is like mine, make sure that is in parentheses because it's, my problem up here earlier is I did not put these in parentheses. And it gave me a different answer. It gave me a wrong answer. So you got to square all of that, okay? What it will do is it will square this number but not the negative, and it'll leave the negative out front, and it'll give you a different answer. So number 3, taking a look at this one, I just want to double check and make sure that I did this one correctly. I have, let me clear this. Okay, so I'm going to have -4 in parentheses. Even though I didn't write it, I do believe I used the parentheses. So let me just double check this. -4, and I'm going to then square it, and I'm going to add my 4, and then in parentheses, I'm going to have my -4 because that's my g of x. And then I'm going to -1. I hit equals, and I get -1. And then same thing, you can go back in and change that to an 8. That's in parentheses. Once again, have it in parentheses. I ended up getting 95 on that one. When it was 1, let me double check that one because I want to make sure that I used parentheses earlier when I was rushing through this. And you should get -4, yes. And I put that amount in parentheses. the x value, and this x value in parentheses squared also should give you 4. So you should have -4 and you should have 4. Go ahead and try 4 on your own. Once again, you're going to be putting the 2 in for the x's. So this one is going to be 3 times 2 squared minus 5 times 2. And put that in your calculator, see what you get. Do the same thing for -8, 7, and -1. Okay, good luck.